There's not one guy, one person in the history of this program that's bigger than the program.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
What's up, and welcome into episode number 105 of the Program Guys podcast. My name is Mason Prince, joined with you as always by Ryan Tyson, Mark Hall, Patrick Hertzberger, no Matt Gann this week. Today is Thursday, January 18th. Be sure to like, subscribe on our YouTube channel. Folks, we had an uptick in subscribers. We're getting closer to 2,000. Keep on subscribing. If you're not subscribed to the channel, it costs you $0 to do it. Folks, it helps us out so much. Also, leave a comment for us down below if you're watching on our YouTube channel. We read every single one of those comments. Like to get involved with you guys in the comments as well. Follow us on all of our social media at Program Guys with a Z on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everything else. I don't know what else is out there.
All of it.
But gentlemen, I'm back.
You're back, baby.
I missed you all last week. Great episode. It was fun to reminisce.
We gotta actually, this is not on the outline, but we gotta start with yours. Like, what are your big memories of the last 2 years, man?
Truly the Matt Gann tennis episode is like one of the most wild
I knew
things.
you would understand. I knew.
I just have never in like a fun thing memory for me is that if you're a real OG, you remember the day that Dylan Gabriel transferred, we got my buddy Luke on. And I just remember this because I saw him this past weekend and he was working down in Orlando and covered UCF. So he was like our in Dylan Gabriel episode. And that was a really great episode. It's kind of what launched us really, because it was so early on in the process. So it was just kind of cool to like remember that and see Luke this weekend and talk to him about that. And he was asking me about Dylan Gabriel and stuff. I'm like, he's not really my problem anymore, man. So like, and Dylan wasn't a problem. It's just
what a random connection you had that we could bring in that like,
oh, I know. Yeah.
Like no one else would have a particular UCF friend, you know? Like,
yeah.
None of the other pods had that. They had to be like, hey, 247 UCF guy, you want to come on my pod?
Yeah.
You know?
And he was itching for the opportunity. But yeah, dude, it's fun, man. 2 years. Like that's just crazy to me that we don't miss a week. And it's hard. Not a lot of people can say that. Not a lot of people can say that. And that's super cool. That's super cool. But yeah, I guess I'm leading the show. I was like just talking. I totally forgot. I thought we were in a
whatever you want to do today.
I kind of jumped in there with Mason. So sorry about that. You know, I threw you a curveball.
No, it's all good. I love it. How's everybody doing so far?
Yeah.
Everybody doing okay?
Good week. Get in there first before Ryan this time, and
I knew you were doing that on purpose.
Yeah, it was very quick for a reason. I'd say, and though today was kind of very happy to be with the boys though. That always lightens my mood. So happy to be here. Everyone looks great. Patrick, your hair looks wonderful,
dude.
Hey, I got a special event.
It really does.
I got a special event this weekend. Mark Hall's bachelor party had a. You know, you got to look good around the boys.
I also got my hair cut today. You can't tell because it's a sweaty disaster. But,
I didn't.
You know, I got to look good.
Sorry.
I got to look good for the guys.
Wow.
You know?
But yeah, no, it's fun. We've had winter weather we've had snowy weather, and obviously the entire country's been frigid or whatever. Well, the school that I work at has been closed all week. So you had MLK Day, and then you had Tuesday, Wednesday. We didn't have school, and we're finally going back on Thursday, but I'm literally in school one day and then I'm out. And I get, and then I'm batching it up with Mark Hall and the boys and the guys.
So is it all right? So you're relatively new to teaching, but you now know teachers. Are those 2 days even worth doing? Is there any value to those 2 days of school? Because as a student, I hated it. It was just
because I'm going to go to class tomorrow. The 2 days is one thing, but I'm going to go to class tomorrow and my kids are going to know that I'm not going to be there Friday. Automatically checked
kids.
Out. Yeah. Automatically checked out.
Oh, dude. Mason loves
my kids.
That was dude. My kid. No, I got some good kids.
You don't get it. You got some OGs. In
I don't. He's like, you don't get it. You don't understand.
I got some good kids. But
this is how cults start, and Mason's not about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's gonna be crying on this podcast in May when he has to say goodbye to him.
Oh, dude, I already got some seniors that I'm worried about. That I'm sad they're leaving. I've only known them, 5 months. It's crazy.
We're gonna get a hey. What do you guys think about having a 19-year-old on the pod? What do you think?
Listen,
And then he's gonna pull this 5 minutes before we get on the air. He's like, oh, it's already happening. So
it's like, oh well, Gan can't make it. So
look, the
it's
kid's got
do a new
potential.
graphic.
He's gonna be boots on the ground in Norman. Let's just think about it, okay?
There it is.
Yeah, okay.
We have a connection.
But yeah, speaking of Norman, some news for the Oklahoma football team. May as well just get into it, right? Casey Thompson officially commits to Oklahoma. Casey Thompson will finish his career in Norman, his long career in Norman.
He
just
after
like
Nebraska?
Always
Florida,
destined to be.
Florida Atlantic. I think you're right, Pat.
I think it's FAU.
That's right. That's right.
So how'd it start? Texas,
Nebraska to
FAU
FAU to Oklahoma.
Yeah,
there it is.
Where he always wanted to be.
Yep,
So,
where he always wanted to be.
That's
Shout out.
convenient way to close your career.
I will say this. We've been talking about how this past year, I mean, Jackson Arnold counted, but like the backup quarterback position is so like valuable to, you don't realize how valuable it is until you actually need to trot out a backup quarterback. I'm way cool with Casey Thompson wanting to come in and be the backup and like Johnny on the spot when you need him. You don't lose 49-0 to Texas 2 years ago if Casey Thompson is at least got a pulse back there. You know what I mean? So like, you probably still lose to Texas, but you don't lose 49-0. You're at least like in a game.
Show up.
So yeah, that I'm excited about that aspect of it. He's obviously still got gas in the tank. I think we can all call a spade. Like he's not coming here to start or anything like that. So he's going to come in there, provide valuable depth, competitive depth, as they call it. And I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
yeah.
And
I mean, we're certainly scarred from the Bevel scenario that took place 2 years ago. So
truly scarred.
Definitely need someone like Casey Thompson coming in, experienced, has a lot of interceptions. If he does need to come in, hopefully he's able to protect the ball a little bit more. But I'm excited for him to come in, be that older. Sorry, my alarm just went off. But older, experienced guy in the room, but also second string.
Why'd your alarm go off? Are you like
Becca,
is someone
Becca like broke into your house? Oh, okay.
Oh,
nice.
Okay.
Okay, nice. Ryan or Mark, your thoughts on Casey?
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
No, I'm just happy for his dad.
Yeah,
I feel like it must have been something to have your son go to Texas and then to Nebraska. And it's like, because those are the two schools that like
I didn't even consider the Nebraska thing because that's so far.
That dude has been a trooper. That dude has been a trooper, and then his son's coming back to play his alma mater. It's got to feel good for him. I bet he's excited. Good for him. Happy for Casey Thompson's dad.
Yeah. For those who may not know, Kendall Thompson did play at Oklahoma for a hot second. That is Casey's older brother. I believe Kendall's like a year older than me, or maybe my age. So
you're showing your age, Mason. Let's not
31.
Let's not go
there.
Yeah,
I know. Sorry.
Let's not go there.
Fine.
No.
All right, but yeah. So that's obviously you have the connection through the father, but you also have it through the brother, and it's OU family. So it's cool to see them back. Mark.
Yeah, it's cool to see him back, and it also just happens to fill the exact purpose that we needed. Right. That's the whole thing. I hit it a little bit last week, but we spent a full segment earlier in the offseason talking about how, man, the backup quarterback situation is weird, but you can't really hit the portal for one of those guys because who's going to come in specifically to back up Jackson Arnold? Well, look at this recruiting, or the recruiting of this Oklahoma coaching staff, finding a guy who would prioritize putting on the crimson and cream because they're Oklahoma blue blood through and through, right? And that's what Casey Thompson is he's an Oklahoma guy. He's an Oklahoma legacy. And for his true last hurrah, wanted to come home for the hometown team, his dad's team, and accept this backup position. That's perfect for year one of starting a sophomore Jackson Arnold in the SEC.
How do you guys feel about Michael Hawkins and his feelings about this? Do you think this stunts him in any way?
I think he's fine.
Yeah,
I think if you're Michael Hawkins and you're coming to Oklahoma and you already signed up to come here with knowing Jackson Arnold's a true sophomore and going to be the starter, I don't think this Casey Thompson thing, journeyman Casey Thompson, really bothers you. I think, and you're going to be given every opportunity to earn the backup job. Like you're going. Go ahead.
If we're winning games by enough, it would be Hawkins that would come in for mop up duty and get reps over even
hopefully
Casey Thompson in that world, right?
Yeah.
The way that Jackson did instead of Davis Bevel this season.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds to me like Thompson is here for, a good time, not really a long time,
Mm-hmm. That's
so
very true.
I think Hawkins is probably fine. I think he's like, okay, this doesn't really change my first year. The only thing that changes about it is I have an experienced quarterback that I can learn from now. More experience than Jackson, obviously. I think this is good news, like across the board for the entire team. I don't see a negative to this at all, which is great.
Yep.
I didn't think they would be able to find that. And you found the one person that it could work for.
Consider this too. No one on the staff has been a quarterback's coach. Seth Luttrell has not been a quarterback's coach. Yeah. So Casey Thompson's going to be the closest thing we have to a quarterback's coach for Jackson Arnold, who has only had so many reps at this level, and then everyone behind him who's had even less.
I agree. It's funny that Ryan brought it up that, if anyone could have got someone to take a backup quarterback job, it's Brent Venables. That dude can sell a Hawaiian shirt to a kamikaze. It's fucking crazy.
It's also just
freaking.
That's not even what my face is about.
I know it's not. I know it's not. Don't
We're
worry.
also I have one of those ready, and I haven't heard that one before.
I also think it's not just BV though. I think just like all the circumstances fell perfectly into place. Like with this, I think he's at the point in his career probably where he was like, I don't want to be at FAU anymore. I don't know. Maybe I'm just projecting this, but he was like, I'm going to go back to where kind of I always wanted to be, but it just didn't work out for me. Maybe like it can work out now and I can get that experience. And it's just like the perfect situation for Oklahoma also. I think it's just, there's a lot of luck involved. There's a lot of just like the situation itself. And I just think it's great. I think it's great that we can both win from this situation.
Yeah. This is a metaphor that's only going to work for like 3 people total, and they're not listeners of the show. This is like if Westworld was able to have its last season and go back and do it the right way. You go back to the beginning and you do it the right way kind of deal. That's what Casey Thompson's career is. Hit me up in the comments if you got that. You're my new best friend, because no one finished that show with me.
Ryan got it.
I did.
Ryan got
it. I understood.
Dude, stay tuned for me and Ryan's Saltburn breakdown later on in the show.
All right, God, I'm ready.
Okay, we got some salary updates. The Board of Regents met last week and updated the salaries for some of, if not all, the staff. I'm going to rattle off these real quick, guys, and then you guys will just hop in after I rattle them all off. Seth Luttrell, $1.1 million salary. DeMarco Murray, $575,000 salary. Emmett Jones, $664,000. Joe John Finley, $900,000. Bill Biedenbaugh, $870,000. Todd Bates, $700,000. Miguel Chavis, $650,000. Jay Valai, $750,000. Brandon Hall, $500,000. Jerry Schmidt, $700,000. The big jumpers, Joe John Finley up $380,000. Emmett Jones up $114,000. Brandon Hall up $150,000. So all those guys I listed got increases in salaries, but the big movers were the ones that I rattled off. DeMarco Murray, $75,000. I think $575,000 for DeMarco Murray is a steal, if I'm being honest. Just truly seeing that number, I think he means way more to Oklahoma than just that number. So I don't know what goes on behind the scenes or anything like that, but shout out to DeMarco for just being around. And I hope that he gets raises every year and can be here as long as he doesn't want to move on to something bigger.
I think part of the problem is, and we all actually as human beings have this, is you only really get raises by switching jobs and going somewhere else. And that's where you realize that value. And depending on what, so you pointed out DeMarco Murray, I'm looking at Brandon Hall, who came in for $350K. And even though he's done a fantastic job recruiting safeties, coaching safeties, being that guy, you can only give him such a raise, right? There's only so much money you can allocate to a person, even though they might be worth more than that amount of money. And if you started at a lower point, it's hard to get you normalized compared to, man, Bill Bedenbaugh, 50K raise to get to 870. I wonder where he started all those years ago and how long it's taken him to get there, right? So unfortunately, they won't just throw $1 million at DeMarco just to do it. He's going to have to like have that title change the way that you see Joe John have a fat title change and a fat raise come with it. But I think that's kind of what we're looking at here. Hopefully no one poaches these guys. I would think Brandon Hall's very poachable right now.
Agreed. And to Mason's point with DeMarco Murray, 575 is a low salary for him. But devil's advocate, has he earned more?
Ooh, this was going to be my argument, Pat. So I understand our love for DeMarco. Have the results been there?
If the guys that he's bringing in pan out,
but they haven't. But if they pan out,
well, I think they
the
will.
key word there.
I think they will. It's just a matter of them getting on campus. You know what I mean? But yeah, I get where you're coming from. I can accept that argument of it, but yeah, I don't know. I get where you're coming from.
I mean, I don't know. I think this is probably, in my opinion, this is them taking basically Lebby's very high salary and spreading it. And that's probably not like mathematically correct, but like from just like a general perspective, I think they're saying, we do want to keep all these guys, so we do have to make incentivize them to stay. Obviously they're going to give Joe John a raise with the title change. I think that jump for Brandon Hall is pretty significant. I mean, do the math on that. That's what, like a 40% raise? Like that's a lot for like 1 year.
No, it is. And I guess what I'm saying is you really can't justify getting him to like 700.
No.
That's sort of the thing. You start at 355 is the best we can get to. That's sort of what I was trying to get at. Sorry.
Yeah. Especially with like public salaries like this, it's difficult to be like, how are you going to give somebody more than like even that, like without a title jump? And I think that's why we've seen in the past people get like co-DC titles, even though it's like there's like 4 of them. Or no, there's not 4, I don't think. How many? 3? No, yeah, there's 3. So it's like they're basically like giving them a new title so they can, and you see this in the corporate world too. This is not just a coaching thing. So I find like all of that fascinating, but I think the intention here was, we're building something. We want you to stay. We're incentivizing you to stay by giving you this raise. Also, it helps that we took the second largest salary off of our plate and now can divvy it up. Like, I think that's all helpful. So
yeah, no one
I
gets
see that.
Money if Lebby's still
no, not this kind of money. So I don't. Yeah, I think overall it's good. If we have the money, let's use it. I think, we have to be competitive in this environment, not just for our players, but for our coaches. So I'm all for it if they have the money, which it seems like they do. So, yeah. And I think DeMarco will get his flowers. I just think he needs to show results on the field a little bit more when it comes to the running back room. And
I need to know who the featured back is.
I think he's primed to do that. So, we'll just see.
I'm with you. Let us know down below in the comments what you thought of any and all of the coach raises that we just went over. Anybody else touch on this? No?
Nope.
Okay. I wanted to, another coach that a former Oklahoma coach on his way out, starting a new job, Ted Roof. Ted Roof joining the UCF staff. I don't know if that's confirmed or not. Reportedly, I guess we'll just say for now, joining the UCF staff, going to join Gus Malzahn. He was with Malzahn at Auburn when Malzahn was there. So it's kind of funny. I don't know why I thought this. I don't really have a reason behind this. I thought Ted Roof was a lot older than he was. And I thought he was just going to ride off into the sunset, be like, you know what? It's been fun. I'll be a defensive analyst somewhere. He's 60.
Yeah.
Like the dude's got 10
he
good
played
years.
At Georgia Tech when my dad was at Georgia Tech.
That's
amazing.
Wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I look at those two as completely different eras of humanity. And it's just because of Ted Roof's like look and general vibe.
Yeah.
There's no reason
He's
why
like,
he doesn't get on the road to recruit.
He's younger than my parents. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
that's a thing.
Yeah, he's younger than my dad. It's wild.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
He's crazy. Oh, Leanne.
Yeah, that is. I mean, I don't know. 60 is also like, go ahead and retire if you can, and that's what he's doing. He's moving to Florida, so like, good for him.
Yeah.
Orlando.
And I mean,
Orlando
he coached for UCF at one point already, right?
He
yeah. So like,
coached everywhere.
He has coached quite a few places.
Every school.
But I think, he's like, hey, I'm 60. I'm going to go be a defensive coordinator. I'm still going to get to call the defense. I'm going to go back to where I was. I'm going to get paid pretty well. And then eventually I'm going to ride off into that Florida sunset and not do anything. And he's going to love it. And it's going to be great. So I'm happy for him.
And he's going to get to coach former Oklahoma Sooner.
Yes.
Derek LeBlanc while he's there.
And Robert Spears Jennings, I think.
Nope. RSJ is definitely still here.
Who left? Who am I thinking of?
To UCF?
I thought somebody left to UCF. No.
Perhaps.
No? Okay.
I don't know.
I'm a crazy person. It's
the transfer portal is nuts.
Incredibly like impactful. So if someone landed at UCF, I'm not.
No, don't worry about it.
I think this is Ted Roof's 14th school.
Are you doing the math?
I just counted it up. So that's crazy.
It's wild to me. I don't know how it works. Yeah, it is good for him, but just like a overarching thought in my head now, they always get a lot of credit, but like shout out to coaches' wives, man. Who the hell wants to move 14 times in probably what, Pat? It's probably like a 30-year career. Like a 30-year career or something like that.
1987 is when he started at Alabama.
35-year career
ish.
Yeah. So you're living somewhere 3 years essentially and moving. Is that math? 2.5?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even count the duplicates. Like he's gone and went to certain places. So he's coached at 14 schools, but he's gone to started at Duke, left Duke, went back to Duke, went to UCF, left UCF, now going back to UCF. So like really it's been 16 or 17 coaching switches in his career.
Good Lord. That's wild.
Schools.
Hey, that's how you get the money, baby.
Hey, good luck. good luck to Ted Roof and UCF. Hopefully they run the Big 12. The opportunity's there for the taking. So
yeah, especially with the Arizona news.
Here's a fun mini segment because we don't have like a ton on the outlet.
Yeah.
So Mason, you just said hopefully they can run the Big 12. Is that your new team in the Big 12? How hard have y'all thought about this? Because I mean,
you know who my team in the Big 12 is.
Yeah.
So I have the ties.
Unfortunately,
I have the ties with my wife with Kansas, and they're fun. I really like Lance Leipold. I don't know how long he's going to be there, but like,
hope he stays.
I hope he stays because he's super fun.
I mean, he could have been up for that Washington gig, and he's like straight up like, no,
dude. Someone's going to throw a lot of money at him because
they signed the check.
Yeah, Kansas is going to win like 10 games next year, or like maybe 11, and people are going to be like, "Holy crap, this guy!" And they're going to be like, "Yeah, this guy." And here's a blank check.
He'll get a chance that's better than Washington.
Yeah. So I think he'll eventually, but Kansas is probably that team for me. As of now, Yeah, probably Kansas. None of the new blood interests me. Houston doesn't interest me without Dana Holgerson. Like that was the whole thing that made Houston fun for me.
Yeah, I didn't consider when I asked the question that two of you have married into Big 12 fandom. So
sorry.
Yeah, I'll go.
You're Kansas.
I'll go.
Ryan, you're Baylor. Wonderful. Matt's TCU. We'll get to the officiality of that, but Matt's TCU. Patrick, what are your thoughts, man?
I'm going to root for Colorado just because brother went there, like Colorado a lot. I think Utah's going to
When you say
dominate.
brother, do you mean your brother or
my brother? Okay. I was in between CU and OU. I was enrolled at both schools, actually.
Wow, real transfer portal guy.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
God, could you just like not choose? Were you just like
he was the same way?
Did you put a deposit down for both? Just made money over here, baby?
I don't know the details anymore. It was a long time ago, but I think Utah is going to dominate the Big 12.
So that gets me to mind.
Utah,
I love Utah. I love Utah. I can't quit them. That red is beautiful. The
red's good.
Yeah. When they're in the Rose Bowl, and that won't happen anymore because Pac-12, right? But Pac-12 doesn't exist, so we got to find something else for the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, they got to find new rights. You know,
that's the prettiest like helmet that we have for the Rose Bowl is that Utah logo with the roses in it.
Utes.
They won me over.
Someone explain to me what a Ute is.
It's you know what's funny is people from Utah are the Utahns.
So it's not the people of Utah.
It's like a tribe. It's like a tribe of Native Americans.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like,
is it? Okay.
Ute tribe of Native Americans.
There it is.
Utah Utes.
Yep. There you go.
Was that from Google?
Like the Seminoles.
It's
like the Seminoles.
That was straight off Wikipedia, baby.
Indigenous people of the Great Basin.
Yeah. It's like the Four State Seminoles.
The more you know.
I wonder when cancel culture comes for them too.
No, because they just have the U.
Like,
we didn't even know what a Ute was.
I don't know if
they've done this on purpose.
I don't know if they will. Have you ever seen the people in Utah? No. Not a lot of cancel culture lives out there, man. They're all kind of one mind, one body.
Yeah, I'm also I'm confused. How many indigenous, like it's all white people in Utah?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
who made up the Utes?
They're not
Manifest Destiny existed.
They're probably like not there anymore.
One could argue very similar for Oklahoma.
Yeah, maybe
that was everybody go watch Killers of the Flower Moon.
Dude, I watched it last night.
What you think?
Watched it last night. It was sick. Also, I wanted to ask this question. Dang it, I can't remember what it was now. That's so upsetting. I had such a good question for the group. That's so upsetting.
That's okay. I also like Kansas and Kansas State, which is something fun that I can do since I don't care about either team.
Yeah.
Like just as more Big 12 teams.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the Big 12 will be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think they'll be fun.
Like I think they'll be fun. So
I mean, think Noah Fafita and Tatorium whatever McMillan from Arizona that just cooked us. They said they're staying in Arizona.
They did. They said that.
Yeah. I mean, they might leave again and when the portal opens back up after spring ball, but for now they are.
Okay.
Should go to Washington.
Should come to Oklahoma, McMillan.
Yeah. Come to Oklahoma.
Oh my God.
Well, sure.
Not the quarterback.
But like follow your coach that you had success with at a better program.
Washington is, I feel like, going to struggle that first year. They're having some transfer stuff. A lot of their people are leaving. They have a tough schedule next year. It's gonna be intense for them, I think, next year.
Saban's exit has led to the downfall of 2 playoff teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think so.
It's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy.
By the way, Oklahoma, if any of the coaches listen to this podcast, hit the portal, guys. What are y'all doing? Caden Proctor just hit the portal.
Yeah.
The Washington O-line is basically filing out the door together.
They really are. And that's a really good O-line too.
Competitive depth. We might need starters. Go get those guys. I know there are bags left.
Yeah, there's definitely bags left.
Caden Green dropped his on the way out.
So. Seeing Proctor, seeing Proctor in the portal, I was like salivating. I'm like, please.
But everybody's gonna be salivating.
I know he's gonna get a lot
money than Oklahoma.
But guys, we need to get a big name in the portal, in my opinion. Like I'm kind of sick of it. We need to get a big name in the portal. I want us to throw the bag at them. I don't care about if it's our culture, this, that, and the other. Throw the bag, Get the best freshman offensive lineman from Alabama. Bring him in. Done.
Okay, that's fine. But the way you said it at first, we need to just go get a big name. Makes me think you're like running the Knicks for the last 50 years. Like,
well, I might
that's
be.
not how it works.
You are the Texas A&M athletic department. Actually.
Yeah.
I want it. I want it.
Pat's
I want
like,
a big
I
name.
want
Get me
it.
Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah. DC.
Dude, speaking of which, I am blanking. Who's the Texas A&M head coach?
You say you're lanking?
No, I'm
Mike
blanking.
Elko.
Elko from
That's
Duke,
right, dude.
I think, right?
Yeah, talk about an irrelevant program.
Because they were
okay.
gonna sign Mike Stoops and got complained out of it. They
That's
got
right.
so many calls from
Still
donors.
so funny.
Dude,
Yeah.
crazy to me to hire Mike Elko, who's just
What a-
ACC Mike Stoops.
What an unserious program. in
Unserious.
school.
A very serious program having some serious problems. Alabama says goodnight to Nick Saban. Nick Saban retiring, moving on from coaching, but he's staying with Alabama in some capacity or another. Like, he's still going to have an office in the football facility, which, like, talk about a nightmare scenario.
Good luck, Kalen DeBoer. I don't think. See, here's the thing. I don't think he
way.
occupies that office rarely, like if
Oh.
ever. I think this is
No, it's just
I
there.
think
just
this
for
is
show.
they continue to
Yeah.
give me a paycheck thing.
Yeah, that's what I
Well,
think.
not
it
even
is.
that. It's also just like good for the program to say like Nick Saban is around once every
Yeah,
couple
here's
months to
his,
say
here's
hi.
his empty office. It's
Yeah.
just
Like if you can show like the top, like if you can have him meet with one recruit a year, why not?
The guy.
Yeah.
Just hey, you get to talk with Nick.
Yeah.
I wonder how that would work, because like, don't you have to be on staff to like have certain like conversations with recruits? Like,
They'll-
how does that work?
They'll,
I don't know.
They'll work
Bob
it.
Stoops.
I
is
mean,
at
they'll
recruiting
work it
events all
out,
the time.
obviously.
it out.
Like, they're not gonna get like, I'm not saying there's gonna be a recruiting violation or anything like that, but it's just, I thought there's like rules around, you have to be on staff to like talk to a guy at a certain time or whenever it is. Like,
Bob's at recruiting events all the time.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of him with Michael Hawkins. So,
okay.
but
Yeah.
it doesn't.
They're
It's
just
not. I
gonna-
mean, hey, then again, Bob might still be cashing a paycheck from OU.
True.
Could be.
There's every possibility.
Well,
Definitely.
we would know that though, right? Because it's public. It's a public school. Wouldn't we know?
I don't know. It's part
Maybe.
of the tequila deal, probably.
Or it's like within the athletic department in a way that we don't have like immediate access
Maybe.
to.
Yeah.
You know, he
Or
doesn't work
there's a-
for OU. He works for Sooner Sports,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is a separate
Yeah.
entity, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. There's ways to get around it. But yeah, Nick Saban, hell of a career,
God,
especially
the topic.
especially a good career at Alabama. I've always held ill feelings towards him because of his leaving the Dolphins when they
There
were
it is.
a freaking 10-win
Just
team.
waiting for it.
That was not very fun for me. But you know, you can call a goat the goat. And I don't want to hear anything about Bill Belichick. He's the goat. Nick Saban's the goat. Bill Belichick's not.
Different sports.
I would agree
Yeah.
with
What
Mark.
I would say.
I would say
think
that-
there's
I
too much
say- I think
comparison,
there's-
and I don't like it.
There's a difference. I
Yeah.
agree.
It-
Sorry, Mason. You just got outvoted. How does it feel?
Hey, Mason, you're allowed to feel differently, and that's
Yeah, you
okay.
can feel different.
That's right.
No,
That's
your
fine.
opinion sucks.
That's right. Yeah. Your
I
opinion
think we're
sucks.
seeing. I think we're seeing now just how much Nick Saban has been able to personally prop up Alabama the
Mhm.
last, however, not even. I don't want to say his whole tenure, but I want to say through this new NIL transfer portal, all of us navigating that and figuring it out, having the cachet of Nick Saban is the head coach here was affording Alabama opportunities with recruits that, frankly, seems the name of the school doesn't really do at all. And the bag that Alabama is able and or willing to drop isn't doing it either. So suddenly you're seeing Alabama have to compete with the big boys the way the big boys are competing without the cheat code at head coach. And a lot of dudes decommitting, a lot of dudes transferring out. This is maybe the worst talent drain since Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma.
Yep.
2 years
Probably.
ago.
It's kind of what I was thinking.
This is the only one I've seen that really makes me compare it. I mean, Washington's going through the same thing, but it's all a trickle down effect from what's happening at Alabama, I think. Any thoughts on that, guys?
I think it's crazy. I mean, like Kevin DeBoer, or I don't know how to say his last name, but he's a good coach, and people are just leaving, not even giving him a shot. Like, they all stayed.
It's not why they came to Alabama.
I know it's not why they came to Alabama, but if they all stay together, then they're a top team in the SEC, top team in the country. And deciding to leave because of just like a head coaching change and not giving the program a chance, I think that sucks.
I think it's not. I want to say that I think it's not necessarily them leaving yet, right? I think they don't have to leave per se. They're just putting their name in their portal so that they can see what else is out there, right? And I think for someone who's coming in and having like, it would basically be like you're coming in and you have a boss and then your boss immediately leaves. Like, how are you going to feel about that situation? And you can't choose your next boss. You don't know how it's going to work. And you have this channel where you can basically jump into something and just see all of your options, right? Doesn't mean Alabama isn't an option for them, but it just means that they're exploring those options. I think that's fine. I think they should be able to do that with what this transfer portal is now. I mean, like, that's what it's best used for, I think. Going back to just like Saban in general, like,
can I hit on that real fast?
Yeah.
Before we do that, because it speaks to kind of the player's ability to maximize their value. Because if I'm thinking I'm a 5-star and Alabama's NIL collective can throw me $300,000, but Miami's can throw me $1 million, and I've made that conscious decision that I want to go be a backup at Alabama for 2 years before I'm going to ever hit the field, and I'm going to make less money doing it because I'm working under the best of all time. Now that he's gone, I got to reevaluate that, man, because my deal says $300K, and we just saw it with Isaiah Bond, the Alabama receiver that committed to Texas. He's got a Lamborghini now.
Crazy.
That's not happening for him in Tuscaloosa under Kalen DeBoer. So that's all I'm saying is all of these dudes are now having to really reevaluate everything. The moment a head coach leaves, your employment changes. Go ahead, Brian, with getting back to Saban, because that's the main thing.
No, I think that's 100% right. And I think the thing about Saban is Alabama was not ever really, quote unquote, Alabama they were for a little while, but not without Saban, right? Saban like really brought them over the last 25 years. They won 6 titles like in that 20-year span. I know that previously in the past that they have won titles as well. Historically, they're very strong. But like he has done, it's not like a true, I don't know how I'm saying this. It doesn't feel like a true blue blood to me. It feels like a 20-year, like the strongest team in the entire world for the last 20 years. I mean, 6 championships is insane in like a 20-year span. I think that they are going to go through the next couple years, and it is going to hit them really hard. Everything that has happened in college football over the past 10, 15 years, they've kind of been immune to because they have the best of the best, and he didn't leave. And now that they're going to have to go through this and wade through this without him, I'm extremely interested on what is going to happen because he does have that power. I mean, that is that dude. He is the dude for college football, and you're losing that. So
I think
crazy.
I think to Mark's point about the guys hopping in the portal and stuff, that Nick was arguably the only one in college football who could look you dead in the eyes and tell you your best shot at going to the NFL is riding with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that means a lot. So like Mark's point about like, yeah, do I want to make $300K or enter the portal and go make $1 million at Miami? Like that promise of like, well, if I stick around here at Alabama, I'm still making money and I have a way better shot at signing a $10 million deal for a rookie contract or whatever. Like that's the promise that Nick could offer that literally nobody else could. Like Kirby Smart's getting there, right? Like
Yep.
they're having good success getting guys in the draft. But it was every year Bama had multiple first round picks, and Nick Saban telling those guys on that team, if you buy in to what I'm selling, I will turn you into an NFL player. And no one else could do that.
Yeah.
Not during his tenure. And now that's gone. And you're gonna see them hurt a little bit, I think.
Saban was able to make the sell and did make the sell at every single position that we've wanted Bill Bedenbaugh to make at the offensive line the last however many years. Is, yeah, look, I'm not the funnest guy to be around probably, but the bag you're going to get on the back end, because I know my shit, is going to be greater. It just is. And Saban did it, man. Here, quick pop quiz for everyone to discuss Nick Saban's greatness. Who was the head coach of Alabama before Nick Saban?
Was it Shula? Was it Shula?
Man.
I love Mason.
We've all seen it. Yeah.
Definitely.
So, no, I knew it was Shula because Arkansas beat them like the year before Saban got there. And I was fired up because Alabama was like 12, I think, and Arkansas was unranked. And that was the year they had Darren McFadden and Felix Jones. And Arkansas actually was worth the shit. And so I remember it being Mike Shula because of that. And I distinctly remember him not having a job long after that. So yeah, that's how I remembered it.
Yeah.
Is it Mike Shula?
Yeah,
it's
it was
Mike, isn't
Shula.
it? Yeah.
My favorite thing is Patrick being like, yeah, of course it was Shula. 100%.
Yeah,
Who doesn't know
man.
that?
I do not.
Who doesn't know that?
Remember that.
Before Nick Saban, the last coach to win any sort of like award for the job that they did was Mike DeBose from 1997 to 2000.
Wow.
Won SEC Coach of the Year in 99.
Mhm.
His record at Bama was 511.
Yeah,
Nick Saban's is 875.
it's insane.
We're
Josh-
talking about a step up that's different.
Josh Pate I saw this on Twitter. Josh Pate had a pretty good like monologue about if you're a Bama fan and you're under the age of 30 and Nick Saban is essentially all you've known, like you're in trouble.
Get ready.
You're like a nepotism fan.
Buckle up.
Yeah.
Like you all, like I love the guy that I just went to his wedding this past weekend in Shreveport. Eric, shout out Eric. Love you. He's got no idea what's about to hit him. And I'm never going to root against Bama unless OU's playing them. I made that promise to my friends, but like they might be in trouble because I don't want to be the dude who follows Saban. And I definitely don't want to be the dude who follows Saban while all these 5-star guys are trying to get the hell out of town. I don't want to be that guy because he signed up for all of those 5 stars. That's what he signed up for. And those guys are like, nah, fam. Nah, this is not it.
I love the Twitter commentary from Alabama people right now at just Bama Twitter, realizing how brutal it can be out there.
Yeah.
And
the memes are great.
Yeah, man. Or just like screenshots of old Bama people when they were in the portal and thought they were pulling people. And it's like, man, sucks to be you. Yeah, now it sucks to be you, kind of.
Because they don't have people leave. Not with Saban. Like it was just, and I love what, I don't know, one of you said, I don't remember which one it was. It feels like an ROI to me, like a return on investments. Like we're basically we're gonna give you a better ROI for you staying here long term, and we'll get you into the draft than you would if you can go somewhere else and get like a quick penny, right? Yeah. And now it's like, oh god, that ROI is not guaranteed anymore. I gotta go figure out like what else is out there. So
that's the sell that every coaching staff tries to make, and Saban is just better prepared.
Just did it. He just he had the results to prove it, and he's just the best to ever do it. He is.
Sorry, one more thing. Were you guys surprised that Steve Sarkisian didn't take it or Dan Lanning didn't take it?
No, because Oregon's bags are bigger and Texas's bags are bigger, and those guys would be going from known situations with a known collective situation to the most one-man controlled kind of thing in Alabama.
Yeah.
I was hopeful Steve Sarkisian would take it.
That would have
Yeah.
been fun.
I didn't
But-
really
I mean, my argument to that is it's easier to win at Alabama and to recruit at Alabama than any college in the country.
Nope.
Right now.
We don't know that yet.
Nope.
We
I
don't
think
know.
it is.
Not
That's
without
way-
Saban.
I think it
we don't
is.
know.
That's crazy wrong. It's easily Texas. It's
Disagree.
easily Texas. Look at the resources.
Look at the success
look at the
Texas has had.
recruits, and
It doesn't
no,
matter.
Exactly. The easiest school to recruit at is the one that loses games every year and still has a top 5 class.
Yeah, I mean that is a
Like
decent
saying it.
argument. They do suck.
That's a decent argument.
That's a decent.
But yeah,
But like if I'm him, I go like I would 100% take that job over any other job in the country besides OU.
I was shocked.
But we're
I
seeing
was
that Kalen DeBoer's taking it and losing everyone, right?
I was shocked about Sark not taking it.
Me too.
Lanning not taking it. That never really made sense to me because I feel like he's got something cooking over there in Oregon, and you're like by yourself and you can own the West Coast while you're in the Big Ten and do all that because all due respect, USC is about to be a dumpster fire, like an absolute dumpster fire. And you're telling me I can run the West Coast and not have to follow Nick Saban? Yeah, Dan Lanning probably is locked in there for a good amount of time. But yeah, I thought Alabama could have I don't know how hard they tried. I mean, I'm sure they tried hard enough, and Texas probably tried really hard too to keep Sark because the last thing Texas wants, the last thing Texas wants after some steadiness for the first time in over a decade is to go in a coaching search. That's the last thing that they want to do. So I'm not surprised that I'm sure they threw something Sark's way. I'm sure they did.
Oh, that dude got paid. He got an extension.
Yeah, exactly.
They announced it.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, he got a lot of money.
Yeah.
These agents are doing their freaking job.
Oh, yeah.
Agent.
And the
Well,
crazy
Lanning's
thing is,
Lanning
one
should
agent
do the same
that
thing.
runs all these guys. It's like
Yeah.
one agent that does Saban, that does Sark, that does DeBoer.
Yeah.
Great.
It's
amazing.
He's
It's crazy.
negotiating with like himself.
Well, and
That's
think
right.
how
And
long
universities.
Saban has been the coach at Bama. I would assume he's had the same agent for a long time.
Jimmy Sexton.
Jimmy
his
Sexton,
name?
that's his name. Yeah, he's a pro, man. He's as good as it gets. And he literally picked up Saban out of here and moved Kalen DeBoer in place.
It's like chess.
And then used it to get a raise for Dan Lanning.
A raise
And-
and
And
Sark.
Sark. It's like I can't believe it because it's the
Masterclass.
NCAA. But like, how do you just let him play you like a fiddle like that? Like,
You don't
if
have
you're-
another option.
yeah, I know.
It's all these schools. You
I
know,
know.
it's individual universities making choices that they think are the best for
Yeah.
them. And this agent is just actually pulling a lot of strings.
It's great,
Patrick,
man.
there's rumors that Nick Saban's going to replace Lee Corso on College Game Day. Your thoughts?
I don't know if Saban's like the best on television. I want my game day to be like pretty lively and fun. But I do think like if there's anyone to replace, it's Saban. Like,
Imagine,
again,
can
imagine Nick Saban on the set when they were doing the whole naysayers thing. Imagine.
I think we would get a freer Saban
yes.
when
Sure.
he's unshackled by, I want to be a head coach again. I
Mhm.
think that you would get someone willing to throw some shit out there, and that guy's got some shit. It's just like, how fun is he behind closed
Yeah.
doors, right? I don't know that question. I don't
You know
the
who
answer.
we would get? We would get the blind side Nick Saban. That's what we would get. When
That's
he
great.
came in and did his cameo
owns
on
it.
the blind side.
He's
And
checked
owned
out
it.
at LSU.
And
Oh,
Sandra
man.
Bullock just being like, "That's a handsome man." Just-
I want that. I want that Saban. I want
want
him
that
on
Saban.
my
That-
game.
That's the
Saban would be
Saban I
fun.
want.
Let us know down below in the comments your thoughts on Nick Saban leaving Alabama. Is that good news for OU? It's got to be, right? What are you going to the game in Tuscaloosa? Or no, the game in Norman. They're coming to Norman. Sorry.
We
they're
didn't
coming to
talk
Norman.
about the impact on Oklahoma at
There's
all.
not. I mean,
We'll
We're
see
out of
it
time.
It's a
next.
dub now.
until
It's a
we
dub.
hit until we hit the portal for it, there's nothing, right?
Yeah,
Like we
there's
haven't
nothing.
done anything with all of the turmoil yet, and you got to think we're making contact with these guys, but to some degree, it's not hitting whether we want it to hit or maybe we just don't. I don't know.
Matt's not here, so are we circling? Is someone else circling for us? Circling the Hertzes? No? Okay. Perfect. OU basketball, men's basketball playing West Virginia as we're recording this at halftime. It's OU 29, West Virginia 25. Oklahoma, 2 straight losses in Big 12 play to Kansas and TCU, trying to get off the schneid and win. Are they in Norman?
Yeah, they're in Norman.
They're in Norman.
Tonight is the cool beer night thing.
Oh, yeah, the $2 beer night.
$2 beers. Guys, you would have had to carry me home.
I know.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Compared to our experience back in the day, that is so
We would have
cool.
gone to a game.
Well, they didn't like.
We would have gone to the beer games.
I never went to a game because there wasn't a beer game.
They didn't really have to do that though during the Buddy years because everyone showed up.
Everyone didn't show up to all of them.
I don't remember.
They didn't have a full house all of those games. I went to
not all of
some
them.
fun ones. You and I went to, I think, Kansas. That time, Ryan. Yeah,
Thanks
that
for
was
the
an
invite.
amazing game. But they weren't full every single time.
No, that's because we have too big of a stadium, but I digress.
Apparently, even tonight, the student section is packed and the rest is.
It's too big.
They're like, I'll buy beer.
Wow.
I'll just
Yeah.
get beer somewhere.
I'm going to the new Baylor Stadium next month when they play OU.
Fun.
When they play OU in Waco. And I'm very excited. It looks like a very cool stadium. So
it'll be cool. It'll be cool to watch a game there.
Arena, I guess is what you call it.
Ryan, you should actually probably save that for your new podcast, The Baptist Guys. But I'm not, I didn't want to tease that for
the Southern Baptist guys. Go
That's
Bears.
right. That's right. It's like a
Waco Boys with a Z.
Waco Boys with a Z.
Waco Boys. All right. PGP MVP of the week time.
Bryles Boys.
Oh
Dude,
God.
No, don't. Okay.
We lost our connection to Bryles. Let's not go back there.
Yeah, so
We lost, not we severed, not we fired that guy.
We lost.
We lost him.
PGP MVP of the week. Pat, we'll start with you. Who's your MVP?
CJ Stroud, Houston Texans.
That's fun.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's a good
fun,
one.
man.
Gonna
That
be
was
killer
fun.
next weekend.
Expand on
Ravens.
that, Patrick. We haven't heard from you nearly enough tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, the kid's just a rock star. I think he's got a great head on his shoulders. The way he plays football it's cerebral, even though he got like a 20% on the cerebral test. So I guess that means nothing moving forward. Very athletic, team player. Every post-game interview, he's got the same theme. He's very thankful and grateful to be there. Easy guy. He just seems like a very easygoing guy who really wants to win, knows how to win, doing the best he can for his team, and he doesn't even have that much talent. Like, Houston Texans don't have a ton of talent. They're a young team. They don't have a lot of proven talent.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm a Stroud boy, and I am very excited for the future.
Love that, man.
Stroud boy.
He's a Stroud boy, and the Texans played on January 6th to get themselves into the playoffs. It's my
So
favorite
good.
thing.
So good.
So real fast, everyone here has a team. Would you take your quarterback over CJ Stroud? Because no, right?
Probably not.
Mason, yeah.
Not
you
right
would-
now.
You would do
Mm.
that. Everyone would do that.
Yeah,
The
the contract.
player,
Yeah. Because I mean,
everything-
my team's about
future,
to have to pay him.
right.
So yeah. So I mean, I get it. There's rumors, not even rumors, but like they're trying to knock down the number for Tua. So
Yes,
that
I knew we
hopefully,
would get to do it.
so hopefully that's what happens. Although you brought it up.
I
You
mean,
brought it
yeah,
up.
hey,
No, I
Tua
did.
deserves a number
did.
knocked down.
Oh shit.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Even Mason goes quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna pay him $50 million a year. Like, I'm not gonna do that. That's dumb. And he
No.
knows that. His agent knows that.
But
It's-
his agent has secured that, right?
Has secured 50? No.
Oh, no. Okay. Is he a free agent this offseason?
No, he's either going to play the 5th-year option or they give him an extension.
Oh, okay.
So they picked up his option. Pick up
the
option.
time. You
So,
negotiate. You're
yeah.
not paying him 50. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
You're fine.
they're not paying him 50. But yeah, okay. Ryan, who's your MVP?
I think I'm gonna go with Baker Mayfield.
Baker Reagan Mayfield.
Yeah, Dude, and I don't know if this was gonna be yours, Mason, so you can speak to this
It's
too.
not.
It's not.
But
Okay, awesome.
But I will chime in because I love him.
Baker just taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the playoffs. I'm sorry, Mark. And then winning against a debilitated Eagles team that I still don't know exactly what happened to that team.
Havana syndrome.
It's crazy. And it's just like, and then the Browns losing and the Panthers being bad. I mean, the Baker's just had like a really tough go. He's just been like thrown around to so many different coaches, so many different teams, and he's never really had a chance to like establish himself and like show exactly what he can do. And I feel like this is the first time in his career where he's actually able to do that, and with a team that's supporting him to do that. And the results show for themselves. I mean, they won a playoff game, and he's won 2 playoff games now, and the Browns have won 1 in the past, 35 years, something like
Yeah,
that.
and Baker's the reason they won
And
it.
he got him the first one.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a huge, huge win for our dude Bake. I think he played great on Monday. I think that was Monday.
Mhm.
And I'm really excited to see him play in Detroit. I hope he wins. I hate the Lions. So
Yeah.
Go Bake.
Dude, it's just fun. I hate the Browns for what they did to him, and I hope they never win a playoff game ever again. I don't root for the Browns at all because of what they did to Baker. I don't have a problem with the Panthers. They're a dumpster fire anyway. They've kind of gotten what they got out of it. But
and
to see
Houston
Baker,
and Houston beating the Browns in the playoffs,
Yeah.
just chef's
Beautiful.
kiss.
Chef's kiss.
But you can't.
It's awesome.
It's just great.
Yeah, it's just if take into account not only was he the number 1 overall pick, how many head coaches and play callers has Baker Mayfield gone through in just his
like
6 or 7 his 6-year NFL career? What quarterback succeeds in that kind of like state of flux? None of them do. And for Baker to do this and to have all of these acts and to come back and still be like, yeah, I'm still here. Like, dude, I ride hard for the guy. Ride hard for him, man. That number 1 DR. That's me.
You've really never, I mean, when you really look at all of the Baker story, everyone that turns him down or spurns him or leaves him somewhere fails for it. Texas Tech
television
hasn't been good. Even with Patrick Mahomes, they weren't good once they moved on from Baker Mayfield. Oklahoma flourished because we accepted and embraced the homie. The Cleveland Browns, again, cannot get to the playoffs, can't win a playoff game, or I guess they got there, but can't win a playoff game without Baker Mayfield. All that money for Deshaun Watson doesn't help. The Panthers, dumpster fire, great way to put it, Mason, thank you. The Rams, kicked out of the playoffs by the Detroit Lions, who Baker Mayfield's going to play next week. I don't think the Lions have done anything to him, so I'm not sure they'll win.
CJ Gardner-Johnson.
There was something today.
Oh my God, the
Gardner-Johnson.
CJ thing, and then Baker's clapback about Russell Gage is so
like you
good.
You haven't watched any film. That's so funny.
So good.
It's amazing.
But yeah, he's a cosmic force, apparently. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm about it, man. It's a lot of fun. He's about to be a dad, about to have, I don't know how far along his wife is because of like, she had the baby and then the playoff games next. Mark, at your bachelor party, hammering every over that Baker had. If it was the baby game, hammer it.
All the overs.
But
that's the shit he shows up for.
But yeah, it's not. But yeah. Okay. MVP, Mark, who's your MVP?
I'm gonna go LVP. I'm gonna make it quick. Jerry Jones, my guy.
Oh God,
is not it. And they were announced. It was announced shortly before we got on that McCarthy would be retaining his job as head coach for at least one more season.
So bad.
Yeah, this might be breaking news to some of you guys, and it is crazy to me because we all watched that game, and it just did. Mike McCarthy is not on the level that the Dallas Cowboys need because their roster is on that level. I think Dak is good.
So do I.
I think he needs some help, and it's not talent help; it's coaching help. And Mike McCarthy is still running 2010 plays out there. So LVP Jerry Jones for retaining him in this offseason of head coach availability. Wild decision to me. Mason.
Shout out Matt Gann's Green Bay Packers, by the way. Shout out Matt Gaines, Green Bay Packers.
No, we never shout out the Packers. Stop that.
They won.
Well,
so,
but you know,
I'm
hey,
kidding.
at the same
I'm kidding.
time, shout out
I'm kidding.
Matt Gann's quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. You know,
Yeah.
let's keep it balanced.
Yeah, let's keep it balanced.
Balance it out.
Keep it balanced. My MVP is the movie Saltburn because it's freaking wild.
God damn.
It's wild, dude.
So stupid.
Dude, you didn't like it?
No, I didn't like it. I didn't know that this is the direction we were going with this.
Oh, dude, I thought it was good.
Okay, you tell me why it was good, bro.
I thought it was good because like the dude's obviously a psycho. He's got stuff wrong with him, right?
You gotta keep it spoiler free though, you know.
I know, but like all of the scenes that people have heard about, those are weird. I was expecting it to be way weirder, like the whole movie to be like that.
It's not
and
that
it
weird.
Wasn't.
It's
and it
not
wasn't.
that weird.
It wasn't that weird. Yeah, there's scenes that you're like, what the hell? But honestly, if you watch them, they make sense because you're like, this dude is mentally unwell.
Yeah,
and he's doing everything he can to sink his claws. So yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
And the ending, you knew where it was kind of going, but the ending is just like, it's good.
Yeah.
It's just good. I like it.
Okay.
Thought it was good.
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't know if you I don't know how if you want me to rebuttal that.
No, talk about this
podcast for that. We need a full one on the Bryles Boys podcast.
That's right.
Bryles Boys
about
Look,
Saltburn.
my only thing is I'm glad you liked it. I think the movie is very attractive to look at visually. I think there's a lot of cool visual elements going on.
I only know one scene from this film, so that's a funny thing to hear.
Yeah. Like just like the way the camera is shot and like certain like soundtrack drops I think are good. All this that kind of stuff. I think that there's no story to it. None. It's not about anything. It's just like why are people doing this? What is the motivation behind it? There really isn't any. We can talk about it more in detail.
Yeah, we'll talk about it some
Those are
other
my
time.
thoughts.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's gonna do it. Episode number 105 in the books. Be sure to like, subscribe on our YouTube channel. Follow us on all of our social media at Program Guys with a Z. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week. Shout out to all the boys, guys and gals out there. We'll see you next week. Pat, take us out.
Love you, Matt Gann.
Keep pushing it.
Love you, Matt Gann.
3, 2, 1.
There's not one guy, one person in the history of this program that's bigger than the program.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.